For my day 21 entry of the 31 Days of Horror, I actually planned to do something kind of light. I was going to watch a full moon or kind of a lighter film like that. But I kept looking back to the box set that I received today. The Black Cats set, the Sergio Martino Lucio Fulci set. And I remembered how much I enjoyed not that long ago watching the Bloodstained Shadow, which was a review I hope that you guys saw. And I also remembered my fondness for one of the what I consider one of the absolute greats of the giallo genre, and that would be Torso, or Carnal Violence, as it's otherwise known. Another just fantastic film by Sergio Martino. So when I sat down tonight to watch a film, I actually had a few different ones in my hands. I looked back at the set and I couldn't resist it. I had to go out and I had to experience uh, this film again, one that I had not seen in a very very long time. So it was like coming in fresh again, and that would be Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key by director Sergio Martino. Now there are a lot of really good giallo directors out there. Most people know Bava, don't know Argento, don't know the basic guys like that. Don't know they may know Fulci but mostly from his zombie work. Now, Sergio Martino only ever made 5 giallos, which it's a lot compared to some people. Like I mentioned, Albido the other day with the Bloodstained Shadow. He only made 2, but Sergio Martino made not. He didn't just make 5, but he made some that were very very influential. He would use a lot of the same actors in some of his. George Hilton, not in this one, but George Hilton's used in a few of his movies. Edwidge Fenech is used. She's a beautiful girl. You'll see in the beginning or end of this one here, depending on where I put the clip at. Uh, she's just an amazing, beautiful woman and she still is today. She was actually in the movie called. I'm not a real big fan of the film, but I'm glad that she had the chance to do another like a kind of I guess a bigger film. Was Hostel 2. She was in that one. She still looks amazingly gorgeous today. And I think the lady is now 66 years old. So if you see what she looks like, and it's just incredible. We have the late Luigi Polizzi, I think his name is. I don't Luigi Pastilli. I don't want to massacre his name, but he was in like a lot of different films. He did. I know that he was in some of the spaghetti westerns. I kind of think it was in one spot. Was it Good and the Bad, the Ugly, or yeah, I think so. I think it might have been The Priest or something, that one there. He was in Milano Calabro. I'm looking at him for that on the back for this one. And Bay of Blood, and many others. He was a really fantastic character actor. And from what I've heard, he was a generous actor. Unfortunately, he had a sad, for a guy that was known for his vibrance and his life and just caring and free nature. He had a sad end. His his son had passed on. He had lost the girl that he was with, and unfortunately, like many of the really vibrantly alive people on the outside that we see, there's a darkness or a sadness on the inside that can't be rectified. And like Rob Williams later on, Pastelli committed suicide, and the world lost a great actor, and apparently, from everything I've read about the guy, a really great human being as well. Finch had been doing a lot of these kind of giallo type stuff, and she'd pretty much played the sexy girl or the girl next door. She played a lot of good girl roles, and that was kind of her thing. Anita Strindberg, who plays the other girl in this, also was known for kind of the sex pot type roles, and they both had worked with Martino before, in pretty much the leading lady role, the sex symbol role, the victim, the one that's being stalked, and this was going to be something very different for all of them. Ernesto Garibaldi, I'm pretty sure I got to get his name right. Ernesto Gastaldi, basically was the I'm gonna mess up a lot of these names. Was one of those writers that wrote a ton of this work. Just after you watch this video, go to IMDb and just look up some of these names. You'll find a lot of really good movies that you're gonna want to watch and check out. But Castaldi did a lot of these here films. I think this is one of his crowning achievements, in my opinion. Uh, I'm gonna get into the film now in a second. Let's just take a minute to admire some of the people that worked on this. There was the cinematography on this was absolutely fantastic, and a lot of the Italian giallos at the time were being done in kind of like a 2:3:5, 2:4 type of ratio. You wanted to do something kind of different with the style that been done. There have been more line get before, so we went for a 1:8:5, and this had been like I know it seems like 1:8:5 was pretty much the norm for a lot of what we see now, but at the time it was kind of a newer thing to do to go with this aspect ratio, especially with this type of film. But he did a lot of really different things in there anyway. So Lucio Pastelli plays the role of a. I got to get the name right because I know I'm going to get this one wrong again. He's such a fantastic actor too in this one here. Oh man, there's just so many good actors in this. Anyway, Luigi Pastelli plays this writer, and he's living this kind of decadent lifestyle. We start off the film with a big party going on, a very hedonistic party. There's stripping naked, but one of the first things we see is this girl that is strikingly beautiful, a redhead that seems absolutely miserable at this party where everybody else seems to be in merriment and reveling and drinking and having fun. At the head of the table is the author, and he's pretty much directing the whole thing. Think of like Eight and a Half, like the director in Eight and a Half, if he had got to do what he wanted to do. This is pretty much the life that this guy's leading. He's very, here's an author. He's stuck. He's broken in a way, in many ways actually, and he's taking this out on somebody, and this somebody happens to be his wife, and that's the miserable woman that you're seeing at the table. When he realizes that she's not drinking, we get to see the first sign of what their relationship is actually like. And he empties a bowl and he starts pouring different people's drinks into it to basically so he can force her to drink. He's not a nice guy, and he'll proceed to be not a nice guy for the rest of this film. You're going to see as I talk about this, certain things are going to come to your mind, and one of them is going to be a movie called Les Diaboliques by Henry George Clouzot. Now, Clouzot had done this brilliant movie, which is a favorite of mine in my collection, and it had been one that Martino had seen. And when he was making this, there was definitely, and he talks about the fact that he does use certain aspects of that film in here, and he uses them brilliantly. He weaves them in there. This is not Les Diaboliques in any way, or stretch of the imagination, but it does take certain aspects of the film and weaves it into this story to just make some very brilliant work. So for the first 30 minutes of the film, it runs on at kind of a different pace. We see him attack his wife. Yeah, he rapes his wife, or at least, yeah, it would be rape. I would say it's not a brutal seduction. It was definitely rape. And he berates her, and she's very much a victimized, terrified woman. She spends all her times with her doves outside. He has a cat, which is pretty evil, actually. Not like the average. This is like the evil movie cat. And the cat used to belong to his mother. He adores his mother. His mother was an actress, and apparently his mother was kind of like a loose woman, so to speak. That's mentioned in the party, actually. But he has this kind of like almost too strong relationship with his dead mother. No, this is not going to turn into one of those ones where with necrophilia or anything like that. So it's not going to go like in that direction. But there's a scene right after the party's over with. He is taken up with their help, and it's obvious that something has happened between them. Her clothes are pretty much taken off, and or at least really disheveled and unbuttoned. When the wife comes out wearing this pageantry type dress, this almost like a Mary Queen of Scots type of dress, and I think that's what it is, because I think his mother was in like the kind of like the Mary a role in a film. It's like we actually see her in the in a painting with the cat actually wearing the outfit, and she is partially to taunt him. It's partially to like just no, they play off of each other in a very masochistic, sadistic type of way. Uh, she wants to push his buttons. She wants to get him to feel for her, but not in the way that. But the reaction that she wants to get, and the reaction that she gets, are maybe the right thing and the wrong thing at exactly the same time. Although she wants to get his attention, and she wants to get back at him for what he does, that actually ends up in a lot of cases hurting her more than it does him, or seemingly at least in the when he actually attacks her. Now here's the thing: early on in the movie, we see a girl that he's supposed to meet at a bookstore, his mistress, and she's attacked and she's murdered. So it's kind of sets up for the whole thing, and we know there's kind of a black cat type of story. It's been weaved there, and they're making no ways, no like things of hiding it. The cat is like predominantly in the film, and in certain sequences of it. But now it's become a giallo. Now it's become kind of a mystery. But we have all these great characters going around, and we have the author, his long-suffering wife, and we have this maid here who is kind of intriguing. We don't have her for very long because she's the next victim, and all of a sudden the police they hide the body because one, the police were already looking for speaking to him because that the girl that died was attacked and was murdered was basically that was his mistress. So and it was well known. So this second girl's dead, and that could be devastating for him. So they hide the bodies, and we're not quite sure where the body's hidden at, but we know they got rid of it, and they pretty much say that she's gone on, she's left. There's characters that weave in and out of this, and just when you think you kind of maybe have the mystery solved, in about 30 minutes in, they introduce the niece, who comes there to, and she kind of turns everything around. She's played by Edwidge Fenech, and Fenech does a different role than she normally does. In this movie here, whereas normally she plays the innocent, the sweet girl, she's anything but sweet. She has some bisexual tendencies. She's very much a seducer. She's very much in control, much more than she is in a lot of her other films. Must have been a joy for her to actually do this type of role compared to some of the other stuff she did. That's like Anita Strindberg. Anita Strindberg was a model too, and they both came up through that way. And neither one of them had any really strong. They had some good movie parts, but they never had any really strong character-defining roles. And this would be really different for them. They'd both all be playing against type. Anita Strindberg didn't normally play these like abused, battered female characters that bordered on insanity and just despair. And there's something very French about this film as well, by the way. There's something very Fellini-esque in some of the characters here. There is a very 8.5-ish type. There's to this whole film when you're watching it. Now Luigi Pistilli, I'm hoping I'm getting his name right. Luigi Pistilli, who plays the lead here, had played many different roles in films before, but he never really played a lead, not like this. And it's such a dark, brutal character. He's a bastard, very much in the same way that in the headmaster in Les Diaboliques is a bastard. He's abusive to his wife. He takes on a younger mistress, one that gets killed and one that comes in. He flaunts it in front of her. He tortures her. He rapes her a couple times throughout the film, and he just loves to antagonize her. Well, this is all going on. We're trying to figure out who the killer is, and we're pretty sure, that there's not a large cast, so we're going to figure it out. And then early on, he's killed. He's caught and he's killed. The killer of the one that killed his mistress is caught in the middle of a murder, and ends actually is killed. It's actually the and I can give this away. Actually, it's the guy from the bookstore. But yet there's a lot of movie to go. So obviously there's more to this piece than your average giallo. It takes what you expect, and it it kind of at that point it says, okay, here's your expectation. Here's what you expect to happen. Here's how you expect it to end. We're about a third of the way through the film. That doesn't matter. There's more to it than meets the eye, and you're just gonna have to. He's got you invested enough in these characters that you want to find out where this is going, and what twists and turns this is going to take. And it goes very Hitchcockian in that style. There's a lot of different aspects. You got a very Clouseau type style, and the twists and turns of it, and the way that's done, and the brutalness. It's very French in many ways. When I look at this film and I'm watching it, I can think of like directors like Clouseau and directors like Fellini that just have such a unique style. And it's not by any accident, I don't think, that Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key may not have done that well originally, but it's a movie that was adored by French critics and Canadian critics as well. And it started to work its way around. We kind of have the same sensibility, I think, when it comes to films and filmmaking. And Martino just did a brilliant job. Martino is known usually for being a very workmanlike director. He can be very underrated for that reason. He knows what he needs to do. He gets the shots. He does them beautifully and does them fantastically. But he really doesn't. Really didn't, I guess, have the flair that a Bava or an Argento had to like really distinguish himself apart from the others. The thing is, though, once you see Martino's work and you start to see more of it, you start to realize that there is a style, there is a flair there that is not as visually noticeable to the untrained eye. But as you start to watch a lot of these films, as giallo starts to be something that you're getting into, as you're starting to see like the different aspects of the different films, the way they're being shot, the way they're acted, the way that they're set up. Just like every other genre, giallo can have a pattern, can have a formula to it that they try and twist and turn and put like different things into it. But overall, you pretty much know what you're getting when you get into giallo. This one here took it into a very different direction. There are different forms of giallo as well. This will be the F giallo, kind of like there was not this one so much, but his style, Martino's style, the other more of the what some would call the female giallo, the more of the 60s style giallo that you got going around, basically where there's more romanticized aspects to it. There's more story. There's a lot of stuff. There'll be a lot of beautiful shots. You'll see different aspects of countrysides, and in some of these movies there'll be different like areas that are being taken place in. Don't Look Now. Is a movie that is basically really is pretty much it is a giallo, whether it wants to admit it or not, and it takes a lot from us from these type of things, and it plays with Venice, plays with the whole idea and the area that it's in. Martino had that had been his style, that had been what he'd been doing. He'd been taking up all his films, and it's mentioned, I think it might even mention here, it's almost travelogue-like in some of the films. You're getting to see so many different aspects of of different places. You're getting to see different shots. You're really getting to see these areas, and you're falling in love with them. One of the reasons that I wanted to travel so much when I was young was from watching a lot of these giallos when I was a kid. Going to the theater, seeing them on VHS, and seeing all these beautiful, lush, fantastic places that I wanted to see because they were shot so beautifully, and they had so many beautiful, fantastic women in them that I wanted to go out there and to see and experience just these different cultures and these different atmospheres, and just see the beautiful tapestry that these films made. And Martino really succeeds with that. Even in this one here, which has a remote setting, kind of like a country villa, where a lot of it's done at, that you would kind of work again with the remote setting when he did the next Giallo, and the last one he did was Torso. Uh, he would even play that up even more. Um, but this here, if you haven't picked up the Black Cats box set, I have to say, I uh, I was excited about the Deep Red set. Deep Red's one of my favorite films. So I was extremely excited about the Hellraiser set. I was excited about the Black Cat set, but I was excited about it because it was more Giallo to get, and but the level of excitement that I have after watching this one increases to an amount that I'm not sure if it's coming across here or not. But this was a fantastically, beautifully done film, and it has this a Poe-like aspect to the story. It works in Giallo aspect to the story. There are so many different things going on in the story. This is a beautiful film with some beautiful people doing some ugly things with an amazing story. But one of the best writers of this genre of film. Martino had made a lot of films, and Torso was the one that he's most proud of, and he should be proud of it. It's a fantastic film, and it stands up even today. It works today. Torso's certain scenes in Torso that work, and if you know the key scene, and I really mean the key, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, and exactly how terrifying that can still be today. Um, this film here works just as well today as it does then, and one of the reasons that it does is because a lot of the films that were done around that time, a lot of the giallos, a lot of these type of films, even like a lot of the slash films that would be done later, they would become more of a product of their time, because we would see a lot of like there was a lot of the city, there was a lot of the culture. Think of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, for instance. This totally, don't worry, it's on topic. Um, if you watch a lot of them now, they were so steeped in the culture and the pop culture that was going on at the time that a lot of these films are great, fun little pieces, but they seem more humorous now and much more dated. The way that this film is shot here, the kind of the style of the filmmaking, where they're at, the villa, all that stuff, gives it almost a timeless type of feel to it. And that's one of the genius aspects of this film, is that it plays the same today as it would then. All the same type of tropes and personalities and culture quirks and all that stuff still work today in very much in today's society. Uh, you could make this movie, wouldn't make it as well as he made it, I guess, but you can make this movie today as a modern day film and set it in the same place, and because it's just that timeless style film. Um, Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key may be the best film that I have watched so far in my my whole 30-minute tour. Day 21, I have unlocked a genius, beautiful, fantastic film. With that being said, I strongly recommend you pick up, if you haven't picked it up yet. It's limited to 3,000 copies. The Black Cats set that the Arrow put out. It is an amazing set. It's gorgeous. It's well done. It's not that expensive, if I remember correctly, and it has two fantastic films. But even if you don't get the set, if these things, I'm not sure, are these being released on their own? Maybe. Uh, this movie belongs in every fan's collection. You don't even have to really love a giallo genre to understand or to love this one. But you will get, like, if you love French films, if you love Clouseau, if you love Le Diabolique, for instance, it's not that film, but it has aspects of all these films. It has aspects of a lot of different filmmaking in there. And the bigger fan of film you are, the more movies that you've experienced, foreign films especially. Not just giallo, not just Italian films, but a lot of the French cinema, a lot of the other styles of cinema that are out there. The more you're going to appreciate a movie like Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key, because it works on a lot of different levels thanks to that. This has been my review for Day 21, the 31 Days Horror. My cat, which is not evil, is over there resting, and my better half, which thankfully is not a broken person, inshallah, is resting herself. So for me right now, I gotta go to work soon, so I gotta get resting. Have a great night, guys. Check out this film. It really is an amazing, amazing piece of work that was done. Uh, Hedwig Finnick and Anita Strindberg are two beautiful, beautiful women that are very much on display in the film, and I don't think I've seen them do any work that's stronger than the work that they do here. Luigi Pistelli, may rest in peace, uh, is amazing in the role that he does, and it's quite a villainous role, but it's in much the same way that Lady Balik is, but it's not the same thing. So don't go in expecting this to be that, because it's not. It's a film that's a treat and an honor to watch and review for for all you guys. Thanks for watching, and for me right now, it's time for tea. So I am out of here. Go get some Giallo in your life. Color it yellow. It's great.